Hey everybody, this is Starjump Grim doing an audio test. Midgards, I see you're in chat. Let us know if you can hear us okay. Ender, please speak for me.
Hello. That's
Checkity. Oh,
hi.
it's Tristpon in chat. Tristpon, you do
What's
awesome
up?
3D stuff, dude. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, you did.
All right, 5x5, everyone. We'll be back in just a few minutes to start. Anvil Paladin giveaway tonight. So you showed up for a good one. Be right back.
Paladin.
Hey everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the day 9. This is sort of the final episode of Starjump Station covering IAE. We're on Anvil Day. There is more of IAE, by the way, to go, but this is kind of like the last official Starjump Station show covering the manufacturers. Hope everyone is well. With me, as always, is Starjump Ender. Ender, hello. How are you?
How are you, sir?
Kilo Zeta, appreciate it. Ender, before we get going, how was your day? Always need to ask that.
Bad, working on my day off.
Terrible.
That kind of day.
Yeah, terrible. Well, I sympathize. I really do. It was a
I
pretty
know
busy
you
day.
did.
We have a lot to talk about today. We have a short amount of time to talk about it. So everyone, thank you for hanging out. Kilo Zeta Gaming again. Thank you for subscribing. That's really great. Really appreciate that. Anyone in Electro, thank you for that follow. Hope you're all doing well today. This is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and warn everybody now, this is going to be a short stream, okay? Not very long, maybe about an hour 15. So it's going to be short, but it's going to be a good one, okay? We're going to go all over Anvil
Good
Day.
info.
We're going to talk a little bit about, yeah, thank you, Mono. We're going to talk a little bit about Drake Day as well, just real quick, just a little bit. And the big thing is we'll be giving away an Anvil Paladin with the special paint. A lot of people weren't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that, but that's what we're doing. It worked out. The stars aligned, so that's what we're doing. So thank you everyone for those follows. Now, real quick before we get going, I'm going to go ahead and hit create start on the giveaway. The giveaway has now started. So if you were on Twitch, just do exclamation giveaway or exclamation ticket and max, and that will get you your tickets. If you were on YouTube, how do you join? Well, it's very easy. If you're on YouTube, you're going to go to the following link that I pin in the chat, which is there. You should see a link pinned to the top of chat. That is a link to the
Our
Starjump
promo.
promo. You're going to leave a comment there, positive, nice comment, nothing trolly. Please leave a comment there and we'll draw a name. Now, here's how it's going to work. We're going to pull a name from Twitch. We're going to pull a name from YouTube. Then we're going to put those into a random wheel, and whoever the winner is wins the Anvil Paladin. Is everyone clear on how the giveaway is going to work? Hopefully so. Ender, help me remember to say that multiple times.
I'll do my best.
That you're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
both we're gonna pull a name from Twitch and we're gonna pull a name from YouTube, and then
Yep.
those are gonna go into the random wheel, and that's how we're going to give it away. Okay,
Done and done.
done and done. That's the only way to do the giveaway in an easy way.
I
I
could
know it's
also
yeah. Go ahead.
roll a d4
Mm,
if need be. I've got plenty of dice over here, so if
it's
you want me to roll a d4
yeah.
for those two,
I think
can
keeping
do.
I think keeping that as a backup is going to be a really good thing to do. So.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, again, we don't want to waste too much time, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. Again, wanted to say, obviously, hello to Ender. Thank you for joining me tonight. I do want to mention our Icon City partnership. You can go to iconcity.com, I believe, is the web address for it now. Unless Ender corrects me.
iconcity.com
Uh,
and iconcity.co.uk still works.
yeah, you can use the Starjump code, which is Starjump, and you get 10% off your order. They have really great icon packs for your stream decks and stuff for all kinds of games, Flight Simulator, and of course, Star Citizen. Okay. In addition, what else do we have to talk about? We have the Paladin giveaway. I've already talked to you about that. Today, we're going to be talking about day 9, the Anvil Day. We're going to head on over to the sale page. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right. And again, everyone in chat, I hope you're all doing well. Salute to you. Thank you for joining. There's a lot of people kind of coming in. So if we miss anybody, apologies. If you have a question or comment on anything we're specifically talking about, feel free to put that into chat in brackets and we will try to grab it. Again, thank you for everyone, hanging out with us tonight. It's going to be a fun night, a quick night, but a fun night. Okay. Let's go ahead. You know what? Before we get into Anvil, let's go back a day. Let's go back in time just a day, okay, to November 27th, 28th. I'm bringing up Consolidated Outland Day, the Pioneer. Real quick, we're just going to talk about that. I saw a ton of people online, Twitter and stuff, snagging Pioneers, which was great to see. It was the first time, though, that I've seen people. I mean, they've always sold out pretty quickly, but this is the first time I've seen people like, hey, I got a Pioneer, all excited about it because, again, they know the footprint that base building is going to have. Price went up to $925. No big surprise there. Ender, any surprise from you on that one?
Not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Oh, everyone, also, I'm sorry, I forgot this. Do not forget to go to Ender's Twitch and please give him a follow as well. Spread the Starjump love. Ender will hit that tag. There it is. And don't forget to follow our Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube. Follow me here, obviously, if you can. We really appreciate the support across all of our channels. Thank you so much. But yeah, no big surprise for me there on the Pioneer. Obviously, it it was going to go up. It's going to be an extremely important ship for the future of the game, and it's a massive capital ship. You know what I mean? It's just a massive. Not only is it a massive capital ship, but it's a really important ship, right? That's going to bring a lot of gameplay that people are going to want. There's some big things gatekeeped behind it.
Yep.
We do
Yep.
know they removed the land claims, and they removed the beacons, the estate beacons, and stuff. I'm going to go ahead and give you my opinion on that real quick before we move on. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. I wouldn't be concerned about it. The whole reason they removed them is probably because they don't matter anymore.
Right.
We know that the land claim sizes do not matter anymore. Bases are going to be able to be as big as you want. And then the beacons, I think CIG's probably come up with something different. What I think they're going to do to those who already have them is we're going to get some tertiary small minor benefit out of it, but nothing
Yeah.
with any meat on the bone. I really wouldn't worry about it if you were one of the people who just got a Pioneer this round. The ship is so much better now than what it was. Take that as your big, awesome takeaway.
Yep.
I've seen some people saying, "Oh, you're paying more for less." You're not paying for less. You're getting way more than you were. Again, the land claim and the beacon, all that. I ultimately don't think they're going to matter at all.
Agreed.
Yeah. Next, real quick, just want to go to the next thing I wanted to talk about, and that is Drake Interplanetary. There was another IAE show. The big takeaway from this, obviously, there was discussion on things like master modes and stuff like that. But the big takeaway for me on Drake Day was the Ironclad is officially in production.
Yep.
No big surprise for me as well on this one. Ender knows that I just said recently that I think the Ironclad is either in production or going into production very, very soon. I feel the same way about the Perseus. I think the Perseus is
Yeah.
already in production. If we
Agreed.
don't, if we don't get a curtain pulled back on it soon, I think we'll for sure see the exterior at Invictus. I'm all but convinced of that.
I would love to see the interior too.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I think it's going to borrow heavily from the Polaris, but what I do think they're
Yeah.
going to do is some of the more slicker features on the Polaris, especially on the bridge. You know, the Polaris has those sort of glass MFDs. I think
Yep.
on the Perseus, they're going to convert those to more the big, like brutal consoles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I'm a little jealous of that. That's what I wanted in the Polaris and what was originally in the concept art for the Polaris. And they kind of went high tech with it because it's the newest RSI ship
Yep.
in lore. But I think the Perseus owners are going to get a lot of goodness in that they're going to have the big consoles again on the bridge. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, again, Ironclad's going into production. It's an exciting ship. I'll just speak very briefly on it, only because it can do so much in terms of emergent gameplay. People are going to be able to use it in different ways because of the opening top. In addition, the assault comes with an additional like fabrication sort of area on it and stuff. I think the Ironclad is going to be the ship that you do small scale fabrication for components and not
Yeah.
necessarily ship components, but I think you're going to be able to this will be a great base building companion ship. You're going to be able to bring cargo to a base for the Pioneer, the Starlancer to use. But in addition, when you build those refineries or those mining stations or whatever on your base, you're going to be able to create new and backup components from for those pieces of machinery right here on the Ironclad.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the Ironclad is really going to shine. Personally, I still would love another variant of the Ironclad, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Derwoo just rated the channel with 93 viewers. Derwoo, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's been a while. Derwoo, I hope you had a great stream. Thank you for sending your community over here, giving you the double salute, sending the Kraken flying right at us. Did you have a good stream tonight, Derwoo? You rated on a great night. We are doing a Paladin giveaway. If you are on Twitch, all you need to do is exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket and then a space max. That will give you your tickets for the Paladin giveaway. If you're on YouTube, you're just going to go to the link right at the top. Oops, stand by here. We're going to wait. Page might be messing up here. I might need to reload this. If you're on YouTube, you're just going to go to the link that's pinned up top, and you're going to go to that link, leave a comment, and make it a non-trolly comment, but leave a comment there, and we will pull a random name from the YouTube comments, and we'll have a winner on the Twitch giveaway, and we're going to put those two names into a random wheel and spin them. Whoever gets the random wheel gets the Paladin. Hopefully that all makes sense. Terwoo, salute to you, buddy. Thanks for bringing your crew over here. Really appreciate it. And it does look like I'm going to have to possibly restart my Chrome. 1 second here. Let me go back and make sure the website is working. Ender, anything from the previous days before we start with Anvil that you wanted to bring up?
No, not really.
Okay.
I liked the funness of the third IE episode. And I'm starting to think that the pauses that they do on those, where there's a screen and it looks like potentially words, I'm starting to think that if somebody were to collect all of those, they would be able to overlay them and find out that it says something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
I'm wondering if that's the case. Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to do it myself just to find out. We'll see.
That could be a good little project.
Yeah.
And there's the little one with the injured arm. Hopefully she's feeling much better.
Fix this. Sorry. Yeah, little ladybug broke her arm.
Broke her arm the other day.
On her birthday.
Yeah,
Happy birthday.
That's a rough day to do it.
But she is obviously, as you can see, in amazing spirits.
Amazing
for somebody
spirits.
who has a broken arm.
Tougher than most of us, which is great. Again, for time, everybody, we're going to jump right into it. Obviously, one of the first big ones to talk about is the Anvil Terrapin Medic. Again, the big question mark with this ship ultimately was its price point. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it. It's a cool looking ship. I mean, I'll say this. I think currently it's way more useful than the regular Terrapin, and probably there's a better understanding of why it costs what it costs in terms of medical, but it's still a pretty expensive medical ship. Compared to like others like the CAR and stuff like. Where's the CAR coming in at? Do we know?
Size wise or price wise?
Price wise.
Price wise, I think it's 65. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. See, and we're looking at, what are we looking at for the Terrapin? 200 war bond, 220 credit. It's an expensive medical ship. Now you are getting the tier 2 medical bed here, so you are getting kind of a bonus that's over the CAR for sure. And in future medical gameplay, that could be meaningful. Right now, it just feels like you're not. It just feels like a very expensive C8R to me right now, unless you're a big fan of the Terrapin.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's worth the extra.
Yeah.
Personally, I just don't.
And here's in the future medical gameplay vision, it may totally be worth it. I don't know. Sure. But when you factor in ships like the Apollo, again, you start going, where's the benefit here? Now, obviously, exactly. A fan of this ship is going to say, well, it's heavily armored. It's perfect to getting in a hot zone. Totally agree with that. I just think the moments where you would use this are probably a little bit more niche than one would think. Yes. But there's going to be some groups out there that this is their ship, and for those people, I'm glad it came out. I'm glad a lot of people were waiting for this one. I'm glad it came out. I'm glad you like it. I'll say this: it came with some really cool paints. I wish these paints were available for the C8R as well. The seabed paint is really cool. So they nailed the paints. But there you go. It's the Anvil Terrapin medical. Did it come? Okay, so the Felicity paint is the concierge paint then. Okay, gotcha. And then obviously there's the Warbond CCU offers. So There you go, Anvil Medical Terrapin. A lot of people have wanted this ship. It was definitely sort of a fan, meme at this point when we get in our Terrapin Medical. I think I saw VMXEO in chat. VM, Starlet, hope you're both well. Salute. I'm pretty sure VM was wanting a Medical Terrapin. So there it is. You have it now.
Solomon asks, can the medical paints be used on the normal Terrapin? I would assume so.
I would think so, but let's check. Sometimes what they will do is put that on the paint info. Says these paints are compatible with all Terrapin variants. So yes, if you have a Terrapin, you can get these paints. Kind of interesting though, because it does have medical decals on it. So that'd be kind of funny if your Terrapin was all striped out medical, only for you to get there and you're like, oh yeah, I'm not a medical version. Sorry, you're gonna have to suffer till we get back where we're going. But yeah, there you go, everyone. Moving on to the next one, the next new ships is the Hornet Ghost and Tracker Mark IIs. Again, no secret here. We knew these ships were coming. The tracker variant is the one that comes with advanced radar and scanning. I guess meant to track your targets farther. I can see how that would be useful, but giving up a big turret for it, I don't know. Now, if the big tracker module was like mounted on the bottom, so you could still have the turret, then it gets more interesting to me. And then obviously the Ghost version is the stealth variant. Thoughts on these, Ender? I know you had some opinions.
It seems like lip service to the fans more than anything. I think when scanning gameplay and stealth gameplay are actually in the game, absolutely, they're going to be worth it. They're going to be probably pretty good ships, but as
they'll have
they
their
are
niche to play for sure.
Yeah, as they are right now, they're not really doing anything. They're just there for the sake of being there. I do think that if they really wanted to put something out that was worthwhile, it would be the F8M or F7M, excuse me, Mark II.
Right.
But even that's
is that
just
the
kind
Super
of
Hornet?
That's the Super Hornet.
Yeah, and
it's
I'm
a
pretty
two-seater.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's the Invictus ship. It's in my gut.
It
I
would make
see
sense.
Who's But Why though says, from what I heard, the tracker already has a noticeable range increase. I'm assuming that's on the radar scanning and tracking. I mean, that's great.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
but
hopefully it is there, because otherwise these ships would just be Hornets. I mean, obviously they're just trying to fill out the line here.
Yeah.
Which we knew was happening. Prices for the two ships, the Ghost is coming at Warbond at 165, and the Tracker is also at 165 Warbond, both ships 185 with credit. And then you can buy the paint pack. Obviously, the paints are usable on the
F7
on 7A Mark II. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So
I bought the
and the F7C
blacksmith paint. I love that blacksmith paint.
The blacksmith one. Let's take a look.
I put.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice.
A couple of bucks. I had a few extra Doleros in the.
Yeah,
I have like 30.
They're all really nice. I like the Bracken one too. I mean, it's a little bit militia looking, but it's kind of cool. Yeah.
I like the green one as well.
Yeah, really nice paints though. The green one does look like the ghoulish paint they do for the Drake ships. So I maybe would have liked it to be slightly less shiny or just had another secondary color on it, but it looks cool. I like it.
It's interesting the amount of iridescent green paints that we're seeing come out of IAE.
I know. You would think that those were like the IAE colors this year.
Yeah.
Lady Space Patrol says green one is the Green Hornet. That's kind of cool. But there you go, everyone. The Hornet Ghost and Tracker Mark IIs. Again, no big surprise here. I think the big thing, though, is when are we getting the Super Hornet? And again, John Crew all but said that's coming.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Invictus. It's the perfect Invictus flight-ready ship. Yeah, it's perfect.
100%.
I mean, actually, if they are planning for that ship to go flight ready, and if they're going to have the Perseus at least visible on the show floor, even if it's not flight ready, talk about an awesome Invictus to look forward to, just right off, but yes, very cool. All right, we're going to go to the next ship here, but real quick, just so you know, obviously we're going to talk about the Anvil Paladin. which we're giving away tonight, okay, with the fancy paint. All you got to do is exclamation ticket. If you're on Twitch, it's exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket max. That'll get you your tickets to enter on the Twitch side. And then on YouTube, you just need to go to the link pinned at the top of the chat, leave a comment, and then we will pull a name from YouTube and we'll pull a name from the Twitch. We're going to put those in a random wheel, and that will choose the winner of the Anvil Paladin tonight. We only have one to give away, so to split them among YouTube and Twitch, we have to do a pool of names here and a pool of names here, and then combine them in the old random wheel, okay?
Just so everybody is tracking, if you are in YouTube and want to join on Twitch, you do have to go to the Twitch. If you are on Twitch and you want to enter via YouTube, you do have to go to the YouTube.
Yes.
There will not be a way to do it from both.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or
Thank
both
you,
from
Ender.
one.
Appreciate that. Got a great turnout tonight, everyone, and especially because of that raid, which, again, thank you, Durwoo. Really appreciate that. Got 147 over on Twitch and 103 over on YouTube, so thank you very much. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Ender. The Anvil Paladin. I think they're referring to this.
Ship.
I think they're referring to this as a heavy gunship. Originally, let me give a little bit of a backtrack here. Going back to before IAE started, there was a lot of rumors, and I had even talked about some of this. There was rumors that suggested that the Paladin was a gunship with variants, and that was sitting around 140 or 124 meters long. That's what people were saying. Obviously, there was a little bit of a misread in some of that code. What we got was a 53-meter long heavy gunship suitable for small crews, which honestly is a really good option for CIG to go with because it gives the Redeemer some competition. And in terms of like stepping up to the next level of gunship, and Ender, you may have an opinion on this, but I feel like the next step up from this, you're really getting to the Perseus and the Hammerhead. And I put the Hammerhead in there. I know the Hammerhead sort of punches down and the Perseus sort of punches down in parallel.
No, but it's a good comparison.
Yeah, but I still kind of put those in the gunship category. So there are sort of two sitting at that higher level. And to have two at this smaller level, I think is good. Because the Redeemer is a little bit of a niche ship in terms of some people love it, some people hate it. Let's go ahead and go through some of the details on this ship. It says heavy barrage gunship. Anvil Airspace is on the front line of humanity's defense, forging the weapons that keep Earth systems safe from the dangers outside and within. Continuing the tradition, the Paladin spares no one, cutting down threats in a relentless hail of laser fire. Let's move it down. We have a heavyweight turret here. This is one of the cool things. So the ship has a 4-barreled size 5 laser repeater that is on a track system, so it can go from the top, wrap around to the bottom of the ship. Really interesting feature. And it also has 2 dual size 4s mounted on each wing. That's quite a bit of firepower, Ender. How do you feel about that in terms of what it's... and it's obviously got missiles too, which we'll talk about.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I think that this is a great little ship to have handy for any kind of defense.
Yeah.
I like the dimensions of it. I know some will remember I said that I was hoping this came in, and it looked like for me that it was coming in at around the MSR size. It was 3 meters short. It's a little thinner, but I like that.
Yeah.
I love the guns on this thing. Quad size 5s. This is huge. Stick size 4 missiles.
And what a cool bridge.
Yeah, it's got such a cool bridge.
You know?
I think that's probably my favorite. When I saw this picture, I went, "Oh, yeah, okay, yeah." And I started making plans in my head. Started going, "All right, I can move some stuff."
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I messaged you.
It's got a really unique bridge. One thing I do love on it, by the way, this little detail, this shot looking down, which is a really cool shot. You can see all the people on the bridge, including the lower people. I love how there's a coffee cup sitting up here, and they're in like heavy combat.
Oh, there is.
And for those of you tracking, the ship they're firing upon is the Drake Ironclad, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
see the ironclad pop up. We got a question here from Siegfried. Do you think the maneuverability of the Paladin to be closer to the Constellation? Hard to know. I personally look at gunships like this, especially heavy gunships, as a little bit like brawlers. So maybe
Yeah.
not being the most maneuverable things, but they almost don't need to be because they can take a beating with their shields and dish
Yeah.
out a beating. That's my thinking, but I could be totally wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, let's continue down. It says united in arms. Each turret hardpoint can be manned by a dedicated crew member, allowing the pilot to focus solely on flying while gunners maintain pinpoint accuracy. When operating with a smaller crew, the pilot can take direct control of the wing turrets, ensuring no defensive position is left unmanned. During quieter moments, crew members can relax in their own private bunks with onboard living amenities, providing comfort and convenience no matter where the Paladin is deployed. It's the first time I've been able to read a paragraph with only one mistake. So there it is. Couple things to go over with the ship here. Obviously, as I pointed out, we have a quad size 5 remote turret that is on a track. We'll show that more detailed here in a minute. There is wing mounted dual size 4 turrets, sorry. And the cockpit has blast shields, which is really cool. So the cockpit has blast shields that can fold over to protect it, which I love. I think that's a really cool little feature. Going inside the ship here, we have the co-pilot and co-pilot up front. This is our upper deck level. And then we have crew habitation back over here, stairways that then lead up to another area of crew habitation. So crew habitation's all kind of over here. In addition, we have a stairway to the lower deck. There are some other details here that aren't being pointed out, so it'll be interesting to see what those are. They could be bunker or additional bunk rooms, or maybe an armory or something like that. We'll have to see. I think it would be applicable for this ship to get an armory, but I'm not 100%. But this is the upper deck. So let's go to the lower deck here. The lower deck, we have gunners on the forward lower deck, and then we have obviously the stairway to the upper deck, and then suit lockers in the rear. Now, and I'm assuming this stairway that leads down right here goes to some sort of airlock or entry. Maybe it's an entryway. But additionally,
Gotta be an entryway. Yeah.
yeah, additionally, let me go back to the front. I think this is really interesting, Ender. I don't know if you can see this because you might be in a little bit of delay, but there's a big rear door here. Or if it's not a
Notice that.
door, if it's not a door, then this has got to be engineering, and maybe there's big components back there because when you look at the model,
That's
and
what I gotta think.
I'll bring up the model in a
It's
minute. There is no exit there,
no.
so that's
I gotta think that it's engineering of some sort.
yeah,
Maybe for the track, a place to maintain the weapon somehow,
hmm
something along those lines.
yeah. Also, we did find out if the cutaways were if the detailed cutaways were not a giveaway, this is a Gavin Rothery ship, so that's cool to know. I mentioned that previously, but this is a Gavin Rothery ship, so very cool. Gavin does awesome ships.
Of course, that
Famously,
actually makes a lot of sense.
yeah, it's famously designed everything from the Hero Gladius all the way to the Kraken. So all shapes and sizes.
Yep.
Okay, let's see here. Here's the ship in its factory standard paint. I gotta say, I really love the factory standard paint. I love that they did
Big
this
fan.
like really light gray kind of color here, offsetting the
Hmm.
dark and the green. So I don't know. I think this is really cool. Ender, what's your thoughts on the factory paint here?
I like the factory paint. It didn't have an effect on whether or not I'd buy it.
Yeah,
It's not my favorite paint in the world, but I do like it.
yeah. I
But
I could have seen one that was all gray. That would have been pretty slick.
I an all gray one, something along the lines of what we've got for the era would have
Mm,
been. I could have
yeah,
seen something like that happen.
that'd be cool. Like shades of gray. I
What
could
we
see them doing
got
that.
is still,
Yeah, and then
yeah,
obviously we have the Shadowfall paint.
which is my favorite.
Yeah, which is just it looks
Love it.
really awesome. I'm gonna say though, I don't know what you think, but man, do I think that I really think there could be a bounty hunting variant of this ship all
I could
day,
absolutely see a bounty hunting variant for this ship.
and to compete with the Zeus MR, sort of like it would be obviously bigger than the Zeus MR, but almost like a stepping
Mhm,
stone from Zeus MR to like whatever the next bounty hunting level is. I could totally see
absolutely.
this fitting that vibe. So
Wolf says, question, when do you think the Paladin will be released?
That's a great question, Wolf. There's two ways to look at that. One is to say whenever CIG gets back around to Anvil ships. We know they've
Yeah.
messed with a little bit of them, the Hornets, the Medical Terrapin, but those are all variants, no new hulls at all. So I think it'll probably be when they circle back around to Anvil. Um, John Crew has already said, that they're moving on to Big Misk and Big Drake ships now. They are still working on RSI. We know that they're doing the Apollo and the Perseus. Here's my thinking. I think when they finish the Apollo and the Perseus, while they're working on Misk and Drake over here, a lot of the people that were working RSI, I have a feeling they're going to shift over to some Anvil ships. That's my thinking. It wouldn't shock me if they do the Legionnaire and this. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, and we'll look at this when we get into 3D here in a minute. The Paladin is the love child of the Legionnaire and the Valkyrie all day. It's got parts and pieces from both of those ships. So, originally I was thinking it was a pure Valkyrie kind of variant, but it's definitely got some DNA from the Legionnaire. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chris Paul
Um,
asks, what do you make of it having doors on both sides of the exterior, but only one entrance depicted on the inside? I personally think that it's possible that you're looking at potentially a entrance to the lower deck and an entrance to that center deck, maybe, or upper deck.
yeah,
Um,
possible.
I could fully see them having a stairwell or ladder well that leads to that, um, so that you can have your pilots and co-pilots and gunners get in and set up quickly, uh, if need
Right,
be.
right.
Could be wrong,
Um,
but
but it makes sense. It does make sense. So, real quick, actually, everyone, I'm going to switch. Bear with me for a second here. I'm loading something up. Let me see if I can just move this over. So yeah, I mean it's this is the ship here. This is the version for Fleet Viewer that I'm working on. It's obviously not complete yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. But for those of you that didn't totally realize this, the size 5 quad turret is on a track. It can rotate all the way under the ship and then be under the ship, which is great for ground pounding targets. So that's really cool. I'm assuming the doors you're referring to are so this is a door here. Let me see if I can highlight it for you. Boop, 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 boop. This is a door right here. See that door? And is there one on the other side? There is one on the
yeah.
other side right here. So these are doors. Again, I'm assuming those are how you board the ship. I would like it to have two doors only because I like ships to have ingress options and egress
Hmm.
options if necessary. There is no back ramp for those of you that were curious about that. There's no back ramp, no back center access to the ship at all. I didn't see any front entry points either. Not to say they couldn't put a little elevator or something in there. I just didn't see any space for that. It primarily looks like these two doors under over here are the key entry points. Um, but there you go. One thing I was going to show everyone real quick as well. I know there was some people that had some curiosities about the size of the Valkyrie next to the Paladin to scale. This is the Valkyrie and this is the Paladin side by side. So you can see how big they are. The Paladin obviously has a little bit more heft and length on it.
Beefier.
Yeah, it's a little beefier for sure. A little bit beefier. If I swing this around, bear with me here as I navigate. You can see that the ship's actually. Let me switch to a front view here. Bear with me. Once again, wrong. Here we go. This will give you a good idea of the ships right here. The difference for those of you Valkyrie
Uh,
fans. Um,
Rude Boy, to answer your
yeah.
statement, he says, in my opinion, Starlancer Attack is still better, has two sides to shields, more guns, cargo,
Oh,
and
the
vehicle
tack, right?
storage, and two med beds. They're two different ships, though. You're not looking at the TAC isn't meant to be a gunship so much as a ship with guns.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't thought about that much in terms of like comparison to the TAC.
I
That's
haven't either.
interesting. That's interesting. Are these to scale? Let me see, everyone. Bear with me. Bear with me. Go back to perspective here. Yeah, these look like they're to scale. That gives you a little sense of the scale between the three ships there. You can kind of see a little bit of that DNA again crossing over between all three variants,
Oh yeah.
or not variants, but all three ships. There's a little bit of different parts and pieces to it. The bridge from the Legionnaire is really kind of what was brought over to the Paladin, but
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know what I mean. Maybe a little bit of the engine work too. What's interesting is that the engines are different amongst the three ships, which is kind of fascinating. You think Anvil would kind of use some of the same engine work, but that is the size difference for those of you that were curious about this. Again, the Paladin is definitely a ship with some heft to it, and a little bit wider footprint. So there you go.
John, I don't think that's cargo grid.
What's that?
He said that the door at the back that looks like it leads to the exterior, but is definitely not a door.
Yeah,
Looks like it has
I,
cargo grid. I don't think that's going to have cargo. I don't see this thing
I,
carrying
it
cargo.
looks like it's leading the way to a major component, like a big
That's what I'm
capital
thinking.
level component. Obviously, we're speculating, Sean, so we could be wrong, but that's what we're thinking. Um, okay, let's continue on here. Stand by. Again, it is 53 meters long, 38.5 meters wide, and 14.5 meters tall. So this sits firmly in that kind of, I call it small large or large medium. It's just kind of weird, but it sits right in that little area. I think it has to sit on a large landing pad, if I remember
Hmm.
correctly. It is bigger than the mediums, but I consider it almost a small large, or a large small ship, however you want to phrase that, just because it is the smallest of the large range of ships. The large ships really do run the gamut from about 50 meters all the way up to like almost 140 meters. So
Yeah, yeah.
and even CIG doesn't have a lot of like hard things locked down with that. For example, they've referred to the Perseus as a capital ship before. Perseus is 100
For
meters long, does not have a lot of capital components. So I think CIG still keeps it a little bit loose with some of this, not intentionally to confuse us or anything, and just in terms of across the manufacturers, it's not as like well defined. You know what I mean? Is like, oh, this ship is over this size meter or has this level of component, so it's
yeah.
obviously a capital or not a capital or a
Right.
large or
Right.
whatever. Um, but the ship, again, one pilot, three gunners, so small crew. Again, one thing I'll point out about this, though, and Ender, curious your thoughts on this. Obviously, small crew, which is nice on this ship.
Hmm.
But what this really highlights to me is just how small the crew requirements are for the Perseus. The
Yeah.
Perseus is only like, I think, 4 to 6. So it's really just
Currently,
like
yes. Yeah.
two more for a ship that's double the size and brings a hell of a lot of firepower. So
Yep.
it really, for those of you that were thinking about the Perseus at any time, it really just highlights why the Perseus is so, you know, favorited by people, and people get excited about it being in production because it really does have a low crew size for its size, especially when you compare it to something like the
Hmm.
Paladin. So,
I think it's great to have that low crew count
yeah,
though.
yeah,
It shows that it's punchy. I would personally like, especially look for this particular ship. Uh, I would say probably six is what I'm going to go with. Two people to run as potential um, engineers, and then four to, gun and or three to gun, one to pilot.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Thank you for the follows, everyone. Appreciate it.
the same with the Perseus. I would probably bring up more people for the Perseus
Yeah,
than I actually need.
Right. And there's
or engineering.
there's the engineering argument, but the engineering argument could equally apply to the Paladin as well. Ships that are in combat under fire are going to need some maintaining.
Yeah,
Now, one I don't totally know if it's laid out for the Paladin yet. We'll see when we get the Q&A, but one thing we do know about the Perseus is it's just a very heavily armored ship. So I'm expecting the
absolutely.
Perseus to be able to brawl. Um,
100%. Yeah,
but I kind of feel that's the case with the Paladin too, just based off its
agreed.
looks and its feel. I feel like
From the
this is a
look of
ship.
it,
Yeah.
I think we're going to have something that is more heavily armored than we're expecting it to be,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But it's going to be, I mean, it's going to be a punchy ship. It's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And Kragon, again, by the way, everyone, thank you for the follows. Appreciate that. Kragon says Perseus is going to be awesome, but these will have different roles. Feel like the Perseus will be great in space, not as great in Atmo. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And I'm not comparing them as in terms of like comparisons in that way where like you should make a
Correct.
decision one over the other. I'm more just like using the low crew count of this at like 4 to optimally run it to really show
Right.
how crazy low the crew count is for the Perseus when you think about it. Again, this ship has one size 5 quad turret and 2 size 4 dual turrets, and then it has 6 size 4 missile racks. How many total missiles is it? Do we know?
Depending on how many go on the rack, I would,
Okay.
I assume just single rack, so 6 size 4 missiles.
Yeah.
But we could be looking at 2, and it has 12 size 4 missiles.
Yeah.
Not sure. Not sure.
Let me bring this over here. Um, one size 3 2 remote currents. Let's see here. Yeah, it just says 6 times size 4 missile racks. I guess we don't know how many are held in there unless someone in chat knows or heard something.
Hmm.
Um, but again, it has there. I'm not going to go through the full list of items there, but I'll list off a few of the kind of more important ones. You know, it has one size 3 shield generator, 2 size 2 coolers. That's yeah, it's a little surprising. But
Yeah, I think we're going to end up with, um, for this, I think what we're going to end up seeing is it's got less shields or
mhm.
less shield generators than say most of your others, but it's going to end up having more armor. So it's going to have, once the shields are down, a little heavier time.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
I see people in chat, and they would know better than me at least. Says if it's size 2 missiles, it'd be 24 missiles. If it's size 3 missiles, it'll be 12 missiles. Um, again, I'm guessing you can kind of switch out the different size missiles. Is that true? I'm not even sure.
You can you can do the missile racks. You can
Okay,
switch the missile racks out.
gotcha. Okay,
But that's, let's see, one size 4, two size 3, 4 size 2. That's if you're able to switch them out.
right.
Um, which is most likely you're able to. I personally wouldn't want to get rid of anything under size 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Doubling down on size 3 would be nice. But size 2 for this particular ship, I wouldn't want size 2 and size 1. This isn't a fighter. Um, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
The only way I see that being beneficial at all is if you're just going up against a small, like a swarm of small fighters, furies
exactly.
and arrows and stuff like that. Being able to have more missiles that can hit those, but if I really see the paladin going like this ship's going to be a big problem for ships like Connies and stuff like that, like
Right.
or even medium ships like Cuddies and stuff. So the size 3s I think would be a nice slap.
Where'd you
Uh,
get? Oh, there's the full tech specs.
yeah. Again, everyone, thank you for the follows and support. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to hit all of our channels. Again, if you're just joining us, we do have an Anvil Paladin giveaway tonight. You can see the little Anvil Paladin rotating down there. If you're on Twitch, you just need to get exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket and then a space and max, and that'll give you your tickets. We'll pull one name from Twitch tonight, and we'll add that to the random wheel. If you're on YouTube, you just want to go to the link pinned at the top of chat. You want to leave a comment on that video. That is our Starjump promo video. Leave a positive comment. We'll pull one random comment from that. We're going to put both of those winners into a random wheel and we'll spin the wheel. And whoever gets that will win the Paladin tonight along with the Shadow Strike paint. Is it Shadow Strike? Shadowfall. Shadowfall paint.
Mm-hmm.
So the ship came in at $260 war bond. That did come with the Shadowfall paint, though. If you're concierge, of course. If you're just getting the regular without the paint, it was $260 war bond and $300 concept. So about $40 more if you didn't have, if you weren't paying for credit, which is a decent little gap there between the two. How do you feel about where the price of this came in? Does anyone know the price of the Redeemer offhand? Do we have that, Ender?
I can get it right now.
Okay.
Also, to answer someone's question, I believe the Redeemer is the loaner for the Paladin.
It is
330,
correct.
everybody
Yep.
say.
It is. Yeah. It is the loaner for the Paladin. Yeah.
The Redeemer's price is 330.
330. Okay. So this is a little bit under the Redeemer, and the Redeemer has. And again, chat, correct me if I'm right. It's been a while since I've looked at the Redeemer. I did own one at one time. I know Ender did as well, but we've since melted them.
Did.
But I know it has a
size 4 on the left and right. I
Mhm.
think those has 16 size 2 missiles. So 2x size 4 missile racks, 16 size 2 missiles on those.
Mm-hmm.
2 remote turrets size 3. Somebody else help me out here. I'm looking at a weird.
Right.
Yeah, they did this in a weird way. You know what?
And
Let me
his
just do this.
and his morbid mind says, I agree. This ship will probably go up to like 3. I could see it going up to 330 on flight ready all day
Oh, yeah.
long. So it'll be right there with the Redeemer, plus or minus probably $5.
Okay. To answer your question, Graham.
Yeah.
The Redeemer has 2 size 4s for a man turret.
Mm-hmm.
2 size 4s man turret. So 2 man turrets size 4.
Mm.
2 remote turrets size 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So smaller, and they each have, let's see, 2x size 4s on it.
Yep.
So 4, and then 4 size 3s. Somebody help me out. Is that accurate? And and I'm sorry, 2 size 4s as well.
Okay.
So 2 more size 4s.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, there you go.
1, 2, 3, 4 size 4s, 2 size 3s. Somebody tell me I'm wrong, please.
I think
I'm
you're
probably
right.
wrong. I'm reading this on the fly. Is the Paladin concept or viable? It is
Concept. Yes. And again, I actually don't think it's going to be a long time before the Paladin is flight ready. I just don't think it's going to be like in the next 6 months or anything. Personally, I think concept ships that they announce now, I've heard this. I would need to confirm it with
That's
some.
not correct, Quinn.
What did Quinn say?
That it has no pilot controlled weapons.
Right. It can have some pilot controlled weapons on the wing mounted dual size or the dual size 4s.
The wing size 4s are also usable. Quinn.
Pilots can control those. CIG confirmed that, Quinn. CIG confirmed that today. T-Jack on YouTube says, question, it's crazy that the Starlancer attack is $50 more than the Paladin. I'm thinking the attack will jump to $450. So yeah, I don't know what the flight ready price of the TAC will be. It is a bigger ship. It's got a bigger target on its back. It's got a much bigger cross section, for example, than the Paladin. I have a feeling because of that size difference, it's not going to be as maneuverable as quick on its feet. That's okay, Quinn. So the TAC is interesting. The TAC is a weird variant to me. Again, we'll tangent here for a second. I see what they're doing with the TAC. It's supposed to be the super freelancer miss, essentially.
Yeah.
But it still seemed like a kind of odd variant.
It didn't make sense to me for the 2 that they had before it.
Yeah.
For the TAC to suddenly show up and they're like, yeah, the TAC. It almost felt like they were going, we need to throw a bone to some combat people.
Right.
And
right.
This is how we're going to do it. That's really what it felt like they wanted to do.
And it's not a bad ship. It's really cool.
Not at all.
For those of you that
I like the Starlancer.
I really like the Starlancer too. So he's in it. The one weird thing is that here's what hurts the TAC in my opinion. The TAC has got 2 of its big gun additions are broadside guns. Now, it's possible those guns will be able to arc forward in a big way, but they are broadside guns. So you're never, it's, again, depends on the situation, but you're not always going to be applying both of those guns to target at the same time. They face completely
Right.
polar opposite directions. That's one issue. The next issue is the hanger essentially carries a Fury and is not going to cover much more. It's a small
Nah.
hanger. So, you know my opinion on the Furies. They're there. They're great to be maybe annoying, and to be a ship that's sort of like buzzing around you. But are they any real threat? I don't think so. Although maybe someone could speak to it. I mean, I don't know if the Fury is like a big threat to something like an Arrow. I don't know. I've never seen the two dogfight, but maybe someone can tell me.
I can't imagine that the Fury is uh, much against the Arrow. Maybe a little more maneuverable, so
Yeah,
difficult for the Arrow to get guns on target. But
yeah,
I got to think that when guns do get on target, those size threes are going to chew away a Fury.
yeah, and
I felt like I was millimeters from death every time I got into my Fury.
yeah,
Um,
and
they can't maneuver as well as advertised, as a lot of people would say, but also they're just not. They don't have enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, and Morbid Mind brings this up. It's like an AC-130 gunship, obviously, that you're circling over. So I think both the Paladin, the Redeemer, and the TAC are going to be useful in that way for base defense
Sure.
or base attacking. Um, once planetary shields are down or base shields have been neutralized, of course. CIG's already talked a little bit about how shields around bases, the only way to sort of take those down are going to be from the ground, probably from ground vehicles and FPS. And then once those are down, then ships are going to be able to do their work. And when that happens, I do see ships like the Paladin, the TAC, the Redeemer, stuff like that being valuable ships for base attack or even base defense. So for example, if there were people trying to attack your base from cyclones buzzing around the base or whatever, I would want the Paladin in the air or the Redeemer in the air, just annihilating those ground vehicles. You know what I mean? Or an Ares Inferno or whatever. We've talked a lot about that. Um, Ender, we've talked a lot about the Paladin here. We've kind of gone through it. I guess I want to just open it up to your opinions in terms of how this ship sits in your fleet. Do you see? I kind of know the answer to this already, but does this ship have a future in your fleet? Do you see it playing a big role? What appeals to? What about the ship appeals to you, if anything? All that kind of stuff.
Arrow, it's exclamation ticket max, not ticket max exclamation. To answer your question, Graham, yeah, this definitely has a place in my fleet. This is going to be running base security for us or
Yeah,
security for build sites for sure. Um,
yeah,
excuse me, had to burp. I was worried that the size wouldn't be what I was hoping.
mm-hmm.
I was hoping that it would run in at the MSR size, 56 meters. It
Yeah,
came in at 53. Um, I saw that. I mixed that with the cockpit and with the guns and just the ability to do what I need to with those guns. Either have myself as a pilot control them or have two people down below controlling those.
yeah,
I personally would prefer to have two people controlling them. Then I can focus on piloting and making sure those guns get on target.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I see this having a place in my fleet. Definitely want this thing to run. And now I guess I have a Redeemer sitting in my uh, hangar because somebody sent me one of these earlier today. So
That
definitely
sounds
going
like
to
a
be
handsome
running
person.
that. I'd say
Um,
the most handsomest. Well, yeah,
Fire Fire M in chat on Twitch says, "How soon will these be in Fleet Viewer?" I'm glad you asked, Fire, because I did want to address this. So, as you all know, flight-ready ships go through StarFab, and concept ships go through my pipeline. However, StarFab is currently still being updated by the StarFab team, so we do not have its ability to deal with the flight-ready ships. So they're going to run through me for the time being. Because of that, that means for Anvil Day, I do need to get through a few ships. I need to get through the Medical Terrapin, both Hornets, and of course the Paladin. So slight delay there on getting these in the fleet viewer. I am prioritizing them, so it's going to be Paladin first, Medical Terrapin next, and then the Hornets. My goal is to have all of them in fleet viewer, probably within 2 to 3 days. However, it's possible that the paladin will be in there as soon as tomorrow, possibly. Okay, it's possible. I also may be doing the Shadowfall paint version in Fleet Viewer as well. And I got to get those built out, get them all textured, render them, conform them, send them to Starlet for integration, all that good stuff. So there is a pipeline there, but they are being actively worked on, obviously, and I'll get them in as soon as we can. Monoblock says, question, will blank
I
get
think he's
more?
I
Oh,
think
okay.
he's saying hanger.link
Yeah.
or
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
starjumpfleetviewer.com.
So monoblock, it we want to do one more camera move, but I really don't know when that's going to happen. We wanted to do the isometric, but in the opposite direction, facing left instead of right. We
Correct.
did want to do
Oh,
that. It is a big lift to do that because it means we have to go back through everything. And it's not just my time, it's VMXEO's time, etc. So I doubt it. In terms of new features, yeah, there's always going to be new features added. I know Starlet's already got a list of stuff she would like to do to feature wise. I've got a few features I want to get in. We're always bug fixing and stuff. Obviously, it ties into Hanger.link pretty heavily, and then there's other Starjump projects going on, and I know Starlet is working on a project that will probably have tie-ins as well
oh
to
yeah.
Fleet Viewer. That will be massive upgrades as well. So yes, the answer is
Big.
yes.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let's go ahead and move on over to our giveaway.
Let's do it.
If you're on Twitch, go ahead and get your tickets in. We have 171 entrants, 1,483 tickets. That's the most we've had for any of the giveaways during IAE. I think that tells you a little bit of the popularity of the Paladin.
I think
Okay.
so.
I think it's really important, though, that we talk again about how this giveaway is going to work because I don't want any confusion when we pull the name from Twitch, from Restream here, for you to think that you're the winner. You're very close, but you're not the winner yet. So here's how it's going to work. If you're on Twitch and you did the exclamation ticket or exclamation ticket max, we're about to pull your name. When we pull your name, that means you are one of 2 finalists. Okay, so your name will go into the wheel of names, the random wheel of names spinner. Then we're going to go over to the YouTube comment picker and we're going to choose one comment that was left on the Starjump promo video. That's the other name. Okay. You 2 winners will then go into the wheel of names and we'll do it right here live on stream and we'll spin it. And whichever one it lands on will get the Anvil Paladin with the Shadowfall paint. You do have to be in chat both on Twitch and YouTube. Whichever one your name gets drawn on, you do need to be there. You need to answer us and when we call your name, or we're going to go to the next winner. Okay, we're only going to give you about 30 seconds to say you're here. Okay, so you need to be
Gotta be
listening up.
quick.
Turn
Be
those ears
ready
on.
and be have the window open. 30 seconds is going to be
Yes.
the max on this one because we want to
Yes.
make sure we've got the people there.
Yes. For those of you on YouTube, I know some people's names on YouTube are different than what they've entered in. Hopefully yours is not. Okay. You need to reach out or Discord. And here it was actually, let me correct that because I'm sorry. I had issues with this previously where names are missed. Here's, if you're on Twitch, you have to be here when we call your name. If you're on YouTube, you do need to be in chat, but if we miss you, we're going to keep it. We're going to keep moving forward with the YouTube name. And even if a person on YouTube is the ultimate winner tonight, if they do not claim the ship within 24 hours, it will then go to the Twitch winner. Okay?
Right.
That's how it will work. Does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully it does. I wish there was better ways to facilitate giveaways between the 2 platforms that was free. There are ways to do it that cost money, and maybe next time. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to be closing this giveaway in about 10 seconds, so make sure you go ahead and get in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Closing the giveaway. Boom, giveaway is closed at 1,727 tickets. John, that's incredible. Okay, drawing a finalist. We are drawing a finalist now. Santa's 81. Santa's 81, are you in chat? Let us know if you're in chat, Santa's.
Santa's.
There he is. Santa's 81 is in chat.
Santa's 81.
Santa's
Hello,
81,
Santa.
you are in chat. Okay, you are a finalist.
You are a finalist.
Your name is going to go into the wheel of names. Next, we're going to go to our YouTube comment giveaway thing here. I'm going to set the advanced options. I'm going to set the after date as today. And what time did we start streaming into? It was 7 o'clock. Okay, there we go. Boom. And we're going to pick a random YouTube comment now. The shark is hunting. This will be our next finalist.
Baby shark.
All right. It is Fanmazia. Fanmazia, are you in chat? Fanmazia. Say hello if you are. Fanmazia, let us know if you're in chat. It doesn't matter. We're going to keep going forward anyway. Fanmazia, though, you will have to get a hold of me. I think you are. I think I see a very similar name. Yeah, it might be you. I'll need to verify that. Okay, rigged. Bob Smith, rigged. Okay, here we go. We're going to put these into the wheel of names here. Stand by. We're going to enter both of these. First one is Fanmazia. We're gonna put that one in here. I may not spell this right, but that's good. Okay, and we're going to add Santa's 81. It's Santa's 81, right?
SANTAS 81.
There we go. Okay, there we go. We have both of you in. Both of you have equal chance of winning. Good luck. I hope one of you enjoys this. Again, let me point out how this is going to work. And I know this sucks, but this is how it has to be done because of the stuff. If the winner is Fanmazia, you have to reach out to me via Discord DM. You will need to DM me through Discord. You have 24 hours to do so. I am going to verify you, okay? I am going to verify you. If it's Santa's 81, I am going to DM you through Twitch. I will get your email and be able to gift you the ship. Okay? So everyone, good luck. Hope you're all well and feeling good about this. Stand by. And we are spinning now. All right. It's Fanmazia. Congrats on winning the Anvil Paladin. DM me. I will be verifying you. And if that does not come through, then Santa's 81, you will be the person to get it. But thank you very much, everyone. Yes, DM me through Discord. Fanmazia, congrats on that. That's amazing. Anvil Paladin out the door. Thank you, everyone, for that was a limp-wristed spin, Sandcroper. Sorry, Sandcroper. Yes, anyway, hope everyone had a great time. I know this was a short stream today. Again, we got real life things that are popping up though that are important. So I want to make sure we can do that. Looking right now at the raid options. Let's see here. Ender, did you have anyone in mind?
Let's take.
Or is it open?
I mean, it's open as of right now.
You know what?
Say
I do have someone. I want to raid. They have raided me in the past. I would like to return the favor because I've never done it for them. So I'm going to send you all over here. I would really like him to give you to give them the Starjump love if you would. They already have a pretty good crowd going, but definitely give them a little love. It is going to be a Loken plays. Loken's a pretty nice guy, so make sure you give him a little bit of that Starjump love. Ender, thank you for joining me tonight, everyone. Don't forget to go to Ender's channel and give him a follow. What are you doing? Go to our Twitter and give us a follow over there as well. Appreciate it, everyone. Enjoy Loken plays. Thank you very much. Everyone have a great night. Ender, I salute you, my friend.
Salute, sir.